I get my camera on? Got it. Put me on stream. There we go. Okay. I hopefully am live. It says I am. So let's try this one more time. Let me go ahead and put the chat in the box real quick. And I should have copied what I wrote before. Welcome. All right, hang on a minute, and we're going to get started. Okay. All right, hopefully that's working. And I just texted one of my customers. She couldn't find me. Let's see if it's showing me on. There we go. Now we're live. Sorry about that, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I apologize. I've been online for 7 minutes, but didn't say I was live. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Dawn Duval. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stanford for 14 and a half years, and I live in Fort Myers, Florida. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am streaming to Facebook as well as my YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't already subscribed, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and click the bell so that you're notified each time that I upload a new video. And if you're watching on Facebook for the first time, thank you and welcome. And if you like what you see this evening, I would greatly appreciate it if you would share my video with your crafty friends and family. Helps me to reach more people and share what I love doing. So with that being said, let's get started. We're going to do 2 cards. One's going to be an easy fun fold. It's an oldie, but I thought I'd pull that one out. And then since Stampin' Up! Is doing a 15% discount on all in-color items from now today through the end of the month, we are going to make a card using all 5 of the new in-colors. So keep in mind, you've got ink pads, Stampin' Write markers, Stampin' blends, cardstock, two-tone cardstock, some of the designer paper that are all with the in colors only. I think those apply as well. And you'll see those numbers when you go to checkout. It should show you the discount of 15%. So keep that in mind. Now, also one thing, our mini catalog is out for demonstrators. So we are able to pre-order. That will go live for you as customers early September. If you're not on my email list, make sure that you get on my email list. And there's a link below the video that you can sign up. If you're not sure, just hit respond with the word news and I'll send you the link. And in there is a place that you can click on to add that you would like to get a catalog if you're not working with another demonstrator, and I'll be more than happy to send one to you. I'm going to get those ordered this week, and I'll probably have them mailed out by the 3rd week of the month so that you'll have them before the 1st. And if you're already on my mailing list and you've received the previous annual catalogs, don't worry, you'll get those as well. You don't need to respond. So if you're new, make sure that you leave a message. All right. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to flip the camera down and I'm going to show you the card that we're going to make. Let me get all of this over. All right. So give me just a second. I'm going to flip the camera and then I got to flip it so it's right side up. There we go. Let me get you in there. All right. So this is a card that we're going to work with. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I thought this would be a great thing to do. It's a different type of fun fold, which we're going to do this evening. And this is using the Beautiful Gallery. Yes, the Beautiful Gallery 6x6 designer paper. And so we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you how I cut this paper. And this is what the paper looks like. This is the 6x6. And we're going to use, hang on a second, let me pull out my supplies in here. I've only got 2. I've got a lot of supplies. We are going to use, I don't have a piece of, hang on a minute. I was going to do one without. Okay. This one I did with the mossy meadow in the background. Okay. This one, I think I'm just going to do it. We're using the basic beige card base. So I think what I'm going to do is do this without the garden green underneath and let you see what the difference is. And then you can decide which one that you prefer, just to give you an idea of how we can do both of those. Okay. So we're going to start with a base of basic beige, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've already got it scored in the middle at 4.25. So we're going to go ahead and lay this down and give this a good burnish with our bone folder. All right. And let's see, I want to make sure that I am, yep, I'm live. Okay. And then we're going to bring in our paper trimmer. We need to cut our paper down. So we need to get it at 4 by 5.25, right? Okay. So we're going to do our design. Okay. So our design is going to be 4.25 this way, right? And then this is 5.5 down this way. So I'm going to cut my paper. Since we're not going to do the mossy meadow, I want to cut this at 4 inches by 5.25. And this is 6 by 6. So I know I'm going to take this and cut, I'm going to start with like a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. And I'm going to cut off the tops to get me down to the 5.25. All right. So I'm going to start with 1/4 inch at the top because I kind of want to remove those lines, right? So we're going to take 1/4 inch off here. Now, remember, I want this to be 5.25. So if I set this down at 5.25, that's going to have me removing the majority of those words, which is what I would prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off there. Okay. So that's going to put this at 5.25, and then I'm going to turn this, and I want this to be at 4.25, right? So, but the paper, pardon me, our cardstock's 4.25, so I want this at 4 inches. I'm going to cut this piece off right here. So I'm going to bring this down, and that's going to be about a little, let's see, that's about 1/4 inch. So I'm going to cut that side off, right? And then this one, I'm going to bring it over to the 4 inch mark, and I'm going to cut this part of that flower off. Okay. And then we're going to make sure. So this is going to be at 4 inches. And then you can keep this piece and use this for something else if you'd like. Now, so now we are at 5.25. Okay. We're at 5.25. Actually, I can cut a little bit. Yep. We're off 5.25. And we're at 4 inches. Okay. Oops, hang on. I got my volume on. Hang on. My phone's now deciding to talk to me. There we go. All right. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use this piece for our base. Now, as you can see, I've got it cut in the middle because I want to stamp my sentiment right here. And again, we're not going to use the mossy meadow. I want to see what it looks like, kind of like a tone on tone. Okay. So we know that this is 5.25, right? So I want to get in the center. So 1/2 of 5 is going to be 2.5, and then 1/4. So we need to cut this at 2 5/8, which is going to be the 2.5 plus 2 lines. So I'm going to line this up. So I need to go to, let's see, we want to get this at 2.5, 2 5/8. Hang on a minute. So we're going to cut this. All right. So we need 2.5, 2 5/8. So there's 2.5, add 2. So 2, and then what I'm going to do is just pull my trimmer in, and you can make it however deep you want. I think I'm going to bring it up to about 1.5 inches, and I'm using the side of my paper trimmer. If you look, Stampin' Up! Provides this. Now I put a piece of sticky tape or double-sided tape on the back so I could see the numbers. I'm going to move this to 1.5. If I want it deeper, I'm going to go ahead and cut it with my paper snips, which I probably will. Okay. Again, this is a really easy card. So I'm going to bring in, hang on a minute. I think I just lost one of my, oh, hang on. I dropped my other piece that I need for my card. Fell on the floor. Okay. So we're going to attach this, but before I do that, I'm going to lay it on here. And this is where you want to fold this back in. Now, if you want this longer, which I think I do, I think I'm going to cut it up a little bit. But before I do that, let's just say we fold it. What do you think about that? We're going to have the green with the beige. I think I'm going to try that. Let's try it and see what it looks like. Okay. I'm going to bring in my paper snip since I've already trimmed it. I'm just going to come up another, I'm just going to cut a little bit deeper. And then I'm going to fold I want to fold my card. I'm going to fold this designer paper to where I can get it in the corner. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue it down first without gluing this. And then we're going to fold it. So let's fold it first. I'm going to lay it on here. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's fold it first. So I'm going to hold it in place, and I've got it sideways so that I can feel how I want this to go. And I would like to have it go right into this corner. So I'm just going to kind of force it down and then fold it over. Okay. Now I've got a little bit more of a slit there, and that's okay because we're going to hide that. And then I'm going to come over to this side, and I'm just going to maneuver it the same way and push that down. And then we're going to bring that up. Now, see, that's not even, right? So we want to bring this one up right to this brown line. And I'll start there to fold it. And then I'll force this one to come down. And then that should be pretty even. And we're going to hide that right there so you're not going to see that, okay? All right. Okay, Phyllis is watching. Thank you so much, Phyllis. Welcome. Welcome, Linda. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And the back side, you can see it's a real pretty light, it's mossy meadow, but it's kind of like a mixture of seafoam. It really is kind of a mixture of different greens. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And like I said, this is a very simple card, so this is not going to take us very long to do this one. The next one, we're going to do some stamping and coloring. All right, so... And again, this is the one I did with Mossy Meadow. I have the sentiment here stamped in Mossy Meadow, and you can see it, but for you guys, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to see. So this one I thought we would do without using the Mossy Meadow. Now, so I've got this on there. So the next thing I want to do is I want to pull in some mini dimensionals. And we are going to just put a couple of dimensionals just here to hold these flaps down. So I'm going to put 2 on each. Let me see. Maybe let me think about this. Let's put 1 here on the corner, obviously, and then we're going to put 1 right down here. We'll probably just do the 2. We just need it just enough to hold it down. All right, so let's just do that. We'll put this one right about here. And then I'll peel this off. And then that's going to hold this down so we don't have to worry about it flopping over. So again, I'm going to put 1 right here on this tip right here. And you know when you use these little mini dimensionals, they're so daggone small, right? That's where your tweezers, unless you have really long fingernails, come into play. So, all right, so we're going to pull these little pieces off here and put those out of the way. All right, so we're going to fold that one over, and hopefully that gives us enough room where we can stamp our sentiment. All right, and now I'm going to do a birthday card because, you know, I always need birthdays. And we are going to, and I have this piece, so I may put this on the inside. I'll probably chop this, I'll probably cut it down. I think I'm going to do it this because we've got a good size. So now I want to bring in my Mossy Meadow. Hang on, well, you would think, oh, here it is right in front of me. See what happens? You find stuff and it's right in front of you. Now, I'm hoping I left enough room to get this birthday sentiment in here, and this one is not going to fit. So, well, it may. It's going to be a little tight. Hang on, let me see. It's going to be a little tight. I don't know. We could do it a little bit. We could kind of do it at an angle. Let's see what it would look like if we do it at. Let's do it at an angle. Why not? It's a birthday card, right? So, all right, let's try. Oh, it's raining. I know we're supposed to be getting some more rain this week, Phyllis. All right, why don't we try? We'll just do it a little bit at an angle. I think that'll look fine. I don't think that's going to look too bad. There we go. And then we're going to add some embellishments to this. So let's do that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to open up my my stamping cleaning pad so I can clean my inks off my stamp. And then we're going to add this little circle. Now I'm going to cover that right there. Now, of course, it's hiding part of my birthday, so I'm going to move it up a little bit. Let's move this out of the way so we don't, probably should have put that on there first, but we're going to put this here. I might move it over some so we can see the birthday. I'm going to put this down with a dimensional. So let's use another mini. And actually, I'm going to put the mini dimensional right on the inside of where the pieces meet. And then that's where I'm going to put this little circle. And this is I believe it's a 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch circle. So I'm going to put that right about there. All right, actually, let me put another dimensional underneath because we need one more to hold it up. So let me put a little baby one. Let me take this off here. See how these things are so daggone tiny? I guess I should be using my tweezers, huh? Okay, so let's put one on this side. And that's just to hide that centerpiece. That's all it is. And you could actually, instead of doing a circle, you could just decorate something else if you want to do it that way as well. It's whatever you want to do, right? All right, so there's that. We're going to cut this. I'm going to cut this down. Let's do a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to put this on the inside of my card. And then, do we want, yeah, let's just do a small piece. We'll do that. And then we'll add our embellishments. So we want to dress up the front. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on there on the inside of the card. And we're going to run it down the right-hand side. So actually, let me get my tweezers because I get my fingers all over it. All right, so let's lay that right there. I'm going to leave a little bit. No, I think we're going to butt it right up to the edge. Actually, let's bring it up some. Bring it up because this is cut at 5 1/4. Hang on. So we want to get that at 5 1/4. That should work. We'll leave a little bit of a space. Well, obviously Dawn doesn't know how to measure. Can you tell? All right, hang on. Let's lift it up one more time. We're going to get it on here. There we go. We just need a little bit right there. And we're going to move a little bit. All right, let's try this again. Do y'all ever do this where you just, the little piece of papers just don't want to cooperate? There we go. Now we've got our space. All right, so there's that. Okay, now I'm going to embellish this with the 25/27. So you can purchase these through the end of the month and get 15% off these. And I'm actually using the, this is, I think the, what is the color? What's the green? Let me think. Oh, this is this Secret Sea, but it kind of looks like it's a green. So that's what I'm going to use to do my decorations because I don't like any of the other colors. So I'm going to take the larger one and I'm going to place that right on this little circle so that he doesn't look so naked. And then I'm going to take 2 little ones and then I'm just going to place them like down here because this area looks a little bit like it's missing something. And then we'll come up and I'm going to do it just like I did the other card. And I'm going to put one right here on that little flap. All right. So there is our card using the basic beige. Isn't that pretty? I really think I like it without the mossy meadow. This one has mossy meadow on the left. And then this one is the basic beige. I really think I like this one much better. I really do. All right, so there's that. And then, of course, this one we came in and we added the strip there. So now that I have an extra piece of that, I'll go ahead afterwards and I'm going to add that to this one. I'll go ahead and cut this one down and add that to that side of the card as well. All right, so that's the first card that we've done. So let me move this out of the way. And then I'm going to show you the next card. And this card was inspired. I don't know if y'all saw my post where my friend Patty sent Rosie a big alligator for her birthday. So, and she had sent me a birthday card and it inspired me to copy. I copied it almost exact, except for she had pattern paper. So this is using all 5 of the in colors. And we're going to use the, let's see, the Gallery of Blooms stamp set. And then I'm going to color these with the Stampin' Blends of all the colors that we have. Okay. So that's what we're going to do with that. So let's go ahead. And this is on a piece of thick basic white. And it's 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. But isn't this a pretty card? All right. So we're going to set that right there so y'all can see that one. So I've got, now if you're doing, and I did a bunch of these because I have my in-person class tomorrow at our community center. So I went ahead and cut a bunch of these, and I would recommend that I did like half sheets or 3/4 of a half of cardstock, and then I embossed them all at the same time. And this is I think this is one of these large plaid 3D embossing folder plaid. And I just thought that was really nice to give it some texture. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and fold this in half. I do have it scored. So let's fold it back and get it lined up. And then we're going to set this off to the side because we really don't need this piece until we're ready to put everything. Once we get everything done, then we'll be ready to go. All right. And I'll give you the measurements on these pieces. All right. So now we're going to come in with a piece of Secret C. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And then we're going to put our blocking. We're going to block, I guess it's called blocking, right? So we're going to put that. Look at I'm going to show you what my dog did. I had left some scissors on the table, and which I found, and look at, can you see the chew marks? She chewed on the side of my snips. Goofy dog. Okay. I sidetracked. All right. So we are going to do, I'm going to start with a piece of, and I'm going to have the, raised side up. So this is Darling Duckling. And this piece is 1 3/8 by 4. I'm sorry, 1 3/8 by 3 5/8. Okay. 1 3/8 by 3 5/8. That one we're going to place right here. So I'm just going to glue them down as I go, and I'm just going to leave a small border because it's I've measured it out, so it's going to work just fine. Okay. So we're going to add some adhesive, and this is a great way to use up your scraps too. All right. So just keep that in mind. And again, all of these ink colors are on sale through the end of August, 15% off. All right. So that's Darling Duckling. And then we're coming in with Cloud Cover. And this one, I'm going to put my raised piece up. All right, this one is measuring at 2.5 by 1 1/4. And then that one's going to go right here. I see how we're just going to have a little bit of a space that you can see. We'll still have the space going around. Okay, so we're going to put some adhesive on this. And don't let me forget. Let me pull this out so I don't forget, because it's something I thought was really clever. And I'll show you that when we get to that part. I had to bring my thing down so I wouldn't forget. Okay, so we're going to line this up right here. We're going to try to line them up at the top so they're even. And let me get that right like that. Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up. Now, keep in mind, the paper is straight. It's the embossing pieces that make it look like it's crooked. So I'm just letting you know that. So as far as I can see, it's pretty straight. It could probably come up just a tad, but I'm not going to, there we go. There. So now I've got these two even. Okay. Now the piece that's going to go here is our, let me move this out of the way, strawberry slush. So that's this one. And this one is cut at 2 3/8 again by 3 5/8. So 3 5/8 would be a half with 2 little lines afterwards. Okay. So that one's going to go on the right bottom. So we're going to place that one down there. I just love how this is. So just think, if you're sitting around and you're trying to figure out what to do, just pull out all your scraps, and then you can make cards and have it, you know, they'll be all decorated and pretty, and they'll coordinate. So there we go. We're going to put that one right there. And then see how we're still lined up, and we've got our line going around at the bottom. And then this is Timid Tiger. I think this is 1 1/2. This is almost 1 1/2. It's like one line short of 1 1/2. And it's, yeah, I'm sorry. It's not 1 1/2. Hold on a minute. 1 1/4. This one side is 1 3/8. It's 1 3/8. And I think this one's, yeah, let me get my, yep. All right, so let's put that right there. Yeah, this one I need to cut it. No, I got to cut down. Yeah, that should work. Okay. And it's really funny because when you look at it, the pattern, the way the pattern is, some of it, you know, it looks like it's crooked and it's not. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that. Oh, hang on. I got to find my raised side, which is that one. I almost put it on the wrong one. And it really doesn't matter, but I just wanted the raised side up. All right, so we're going to lay this one down here and get that right in over, push it over just a little bit. Actually, let me lift this up for a second. I've got one piece that's driving me crazy. Let's put him down this way so we don't see it. You can kind of hide a few things. Whoop, that's not going to work. All right, hang on. You get it on here, get it lined up. Now, see, this is a little bit on the high side. So, all right, so let me take, so it was off just a tad. So I'm just going to trim right, just not very much. I'm just going to trim like just a little bit of a hair. And hopefully that will get us right where we need to be. Yep, that does. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's our blocking part. All right. Then we're going to come in with another piece of Secret C. And this is 3 inches, should be 3 inches by 4 1/4. And this is going to be popped up on dimensionals once we place it on here. And then we've got a white that we're going to stamp. And this is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. Okay. And we are going to do some stamping. And we are going to do some coloring. And I'm going to use the Secret C ink to stamp the flowers. And I'm just randomly doing this. So you can stamp whatever items you want. I tried to pull these are from the gallery, the gallery blooms, which I really like. All right, so I'm going to stamp the largest one first. And then you can come back in however you want to do this and just place them wherever you want to place them, okay? So I'm going to place this guy because he's long. So I'm going to place this one up towards the top, and we're going to push that one down there. Make sure we've got some good pressure on it. All right, isn't that a pretty color? And then we're going to come back. Let me put that right there. I'm going to stamp this next one. This one is, this is a pretty large one as well. And as you can see, I did it in the bottom corner. So I'm going to come down here, and I know they're going in the same direction, but I'm okay with that. And I'm going to twist it just a little bit, and I'm going to place that one right there. All right. And then we're going to come back and start with some smaller ones. Now this one, I'm going to stamp this one several times. And I'm going to stamp, let's see, we're going to put one up in this corner, and then we're going to color these different colors, okay? And then this one, we're going to come in, and I'm going to turn it just a little bit. I'm going to stamp off. So part of the flowers are stamped off. And then this one, pardon me, I'm going to stamp this one where it's straight. I'm going to angle it just a little bit. All right, so that's that. And then we're going to color those. And then the last thing, I'm using these little circles from the blooming phrases. I'm using these 3 right here, and I'm just going to stamp these in different colors. So let me go ahead. I'm going to close this up so I don't wear this. And once I get everything colored, then I'll come back and stamp whatever colors that I need. Okay. So let's go ahead and move all this mess out of the way. All right. So on this one, I did these in Timid Tiger. I'm going to change that and make it Darling Duckling. I don't know why I did the tiger on that one, but I did. So we're going to do, I think I'm just going to do the light duck on this. So I'm just going to come in and just do coloring basically over those pieces of whatever it is. Okay. And we're just going to color those. This is the light Darling Duckling. All right. So that's all I'm going to do on that one. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with this one. I'm going to do, trying to decide. I think I did strawberry slush, so I think I'll do the same thing here. And actually, I'm going to use the light because I think the dark's going to be a little bit too dark for these are little tiny petals. And so I'm just going to come in with the light and we'll just going to color these and I'll do these in the strawberry slush. I like this color. I forgot we had this and this has been a long time ago. I can't remember when we had it. So I'm just going to come in with my Stampin' Blend. Now, if you want to make these darker and add some definition, then by all means use your dark. I'm just coloring everything. There's probably some, these look like little petals to me. So I may come back and take the dark and just do a little dot in the inside of the flower just to give it a little bit of definition, which will probably make it look nice. And I'm just going to leave some of those whites showing through. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So let's come in with our dark and I'm just going to make a dot right in the inside where they have the little spot. There's one right here. I think that's about it. Okay. All right. See, you can see this is coming together pretty quickly. I'm going to color the leaves. I'm going to use seafoam, soft seafoam, light and dark. But I'm going to go ahead and get these colored first. I think this one, I think I'll do the Timid Tiger down here at the bottom. So we're going to come in with that one. And this is the light. So I'm going to come in with the light again. And the light's really kind of dark. And I'll come back with the dark and maybe do the inside of the buds. And we'll just color these. And I'm just going to make all these look like they're petals. All right. So we're going to just color those. It's kind of easy to do. And we've got this one. I'm just going to color the petals. And then we'll come back and color the leaves with the green. All right, and again, this one, we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to come back with the dark, just do a little dot inside the center where that part's probably going to be a little bit darker, right in there. Okay, and then this one, I think I will do, this one I'm going to do clover, clover, good Lord, cloud cover. So let's do our cloud cover, and I'm going to bring in the dark. Let's see what the dark looks like. Yeah, let's do the dark. And then I'll come in and do, I'll do some light. But I think that'd be pretty. All right, don't you love this color? Now, I think I told y'all this before. If you stamp your Secret C ink and stamp off, then when you restamp it the second time, it's going to look it's going to be a light cloud cover. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one am I missing? The Secret C. We got that's 5. So I'm just going to go in. Whoops, I got an. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to come back with the light again, and then we'll come. We went blank. Hang on. Ooh, sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. Are y'all still there? Yep, we're live. Sorry about that. Somehow my screen just went blank. All right, so the cloud cover, the ink did not agree with the foam pad, so they decided not to sell it to customers. So I had some of these, they're uninked mini ink pads, and I just put my inker on that, and that's how I use my cloud cover. So you can do it that way. So I'm going to put a little flower right here. I just feel like I want to fill in, and let's see. Let's do a couple more. Let's do what other color do, and then we'll stop because that. We're going to attach everything so I can get them. If I don't get them off my desk, then I won't be able to move. So hang on a second. Sometimes these, you got to close them really good for them to shut. And they should snap into place. And Darling Duckling does not want to cooperate. There we go. So let me put that up there. Put these in where they go. There we go. Okay, and we'll move this out of the way. All right, so we're bringing the card back in. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to adhere this. Now, y'all get to decide, and you can go ahead and do that now. What color ribbon would you like me to do where I have the bow tied? So this is Timid Tiger. So choose any one of the end colors. You can do Secret Sea, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, Strawberry Slush, or Timid Tiger. So while you all leave a comment about that, I'm going to go ahead and comments of which ribbon you would. So you can, we're using it again on the items that you do not have. Okay, so we're going to put this dimensionals. Don't forget we have black dimensionals. So anytime you're using dark cardstock, use your black, and that will keep the white, from showing. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this. And then I'm going to put two on the kind of like on the inside, and then we're going to put two more at the bottom. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. And by then, hopefully you all have responded on what color ribbon we should tie. And then we'll go ahead and get the bow on there, and then our card off the backings here. That you have at home. All right, so I'm going to lay this on here, and I'm going to center. So we're going to put that right there. All right, now we're going to pull in. I have a piece of white. Here we go. A piece of scrap white that we're going to stamp our sentiment on, which is going to be a happy birthday. And I hope my thing is not froze up. Okay, just want to make sure. Looks like the phone might be froze. Okay. All right, so, okay, now let's go ahead and attach this to our, and then we'll do our to the attach. Isn't that pretty? All those birthday and I'm stamp that. See what I'm doing. Well, over only because I want to bring it down. I want to bring it over a little bit so we have room for our ribbon. So let's place it there. Same thing, but that's all right. Okay, that'll work. All right, it's a little bit more centered anyways. Okay, so now, did you all decide on colors? Okay, all right, let's see what the comments are saying. Let's see. Come on, comments. All right. Anybody? Let's see what we say. Oh, you died. Oh, okay, I'm on. All right, let's see. We're going to pop this up on dimensionals. I'm going to do that now, and then we will come back and do our ribbon because that way I can adjust it. So I'm going to put, let me see which one I want. I think I'm like, yeah, let's do. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the back, and well, wait a minute. I'm only going to put 1. Hang on. I only want 1 dimensional, I think. Or maybe I want 2. Let's see. We're going to put 1 here. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to put 1 right. Actually, I'm going to put a small one because it's going to be hanging off the card, you know, off the centerpiece. So I don't need a large dimensional. So I'm just going to put a little one right here. And that's hidden so you don't see it. So let's pop that on. And then let's see. What color do we want to do? So let's put that, put it in between these 2 colors here. So I'm going to put that right there. And let's go with, since no one has responded, then I'm going to make an executive decision. And I'm going to say, do we want to do cloud cover? Whoopsie. I think I'm going to do strawberry slush. Let's do that. I haven't even opened this one yet. So let's do strawberry slush. We're just going to cut a piece off and then we're going to tie it into a bow and then we'll be done. Let me find my paper snips. Bear with me. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's just cut, get my ribbon scissors out. All right, we'll cut that. All right. And I got a mess going on over here. Okie doke. So I am going to tie this into a bow. Probably should cut a bigger piece. Makes it easier. And then you can just, actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. Or we could do bunny ears. Let's see what the bunny ears do. Nah, it's not big enough. Hang on. Let me just cut a bigger piece. It makes it a lot easier. Right? Okay. Now we'll cut it and then we'll just trim it off. All right. So we're going to wrap this around. Get in there where I can grab it and pull it through. Oh, hang on. And having fingernails, let me make it a little bit bigger. I have a bow maker. I should pull that thing out. It's so easy to use. I don't know where this gnat is coming from. It's driving me crazy. Okay, let's see if we can get that in here. I don't know if it's the heat. All right, hold on. I got to pull my tails in some so we can get this guy to cooperate. And we got this little piece right here. Yesterday, I tied this thing like I look like a professional. Now it's not going to cooperate. You know how that goes, right? All right, let's try this one more time. If not, we may have to get this thing in here. Hold on a minute. If I can get it to tuck through. There we go. Hang on. I got to get it in there. There it is, right there. I swear I look like I'm all thumbs, don't I? There we go. Let's see if I can pull that through and get it to work, and then we can adjust it. Once you get the tails, get it pulled through, then we've got it made where we can get it to where we can pull the tails in and get our bow started. There we go. There we go. That doesn't look too pretty right now, but we'll get it straight. All right, let's see what we got to do here. No, that looks like crapola, doesn't it? This one's twisted. Hang on. That does not look good. Hang on. Hold up. There, we're getting there. Just got to play with it. This piece right here doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. There we go. Now we can pull it down. Hold it in the center. That keeps it taut. There we go. See, it only took me a couple minutes. And we'll cut the tails. I think that looks good. Maybe we should shorten it just a tad. So let me hold it and pull. Always pull a little bit shorter, because then when you tighten it, it's going to make it bigger anyways. Okay. All right. So that's good. We're going to go with that. I'm going to trim this guy off here, and I'm going to trim this one up here. All right. Looks like I know what I'm doing, doesn't it? And then this one, we're going to apply with a glue dot. So let's go ahead and get our glue dots. And I'm just going to place my bow right on top of that glue dot and pull it off. And then we're going to place it right on the top corner. Let's go with my finger. And we'll place it right there. And we've got our tail. We'll pull that one over just a little bit so you can see the happy. And maybe I should trim, let me just trim this down just a little bit more. And we'll trim that one up a little bit. There we go. Looks a little short, but that's okay. We want to make sure that people can see the happy birthday. And we can always pull this down too. All right, so there is our second card, and that's doing all of our end colors. Isn't that cute? What do y'all think about that? All right, so there's that card, and let me bring in the other one and show you what we did with that one. So here are the two cards that we worked with. Oh, wait, before you know what I forgot to do? Oh, my goodness, it's too late now. What I was going to do, and I wasn't thinking, to make it look like this has got a piece of black underneath, take your Stampin' Write marker or your blend and just go along the edges of your white cardstock to give it that look of a black line. Looks like it's got a piece of black underneath it. So I forgot to do that. And I put my marker there so I wouldn't forget, and I forgot anyways. So, all right, everybody, that is the two cards that we're doing this evening, and we actually got it done on time for a change. So this is the basic beige birthday wishes, and where we fold back the corners. And then this is, I'm calling this one like a color block. And that's all of our new end colors. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you need anything, please let me know. If you're not working with a demonstrator, I'd love to work with you. And don't forget, during this month's promotion, if you place a $40 order in my online store, I will send you one of the color wheels for free. And it helps you pick colors that will go together. If you're kind of like me and not sure, it's very helpful. So again, thank you so much for spending your Tuesday with me, and I will talk to you all soon. If you have any questions, just leave them below and I'll respond to you first thing in the morning. All right, everybody, thanks again. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.